So, like Maria shared, my name is Soumya. I'm a pediatrician, and I have been practicing meditation and teaching it for 2 decades. And it is really a pleasure for me to see so many of us here together today to spend some time on our well-being. Um, Lovely to have all of you. If you feel so inclined, please turn on your camera. We would love to see you on the screen, and it's definitely more interactive to have everybody with us with the camera on. If not, we understand as long as you're participating. That's great. There'll be opportunities to interact. Feel free to use the chat option or speak up. Again, this is a forum for all of us to spend some time together and learn together. So feel let's interact as well. Before we go forward, we just have a quick poll for you on Zoom. I would love to hear what is your focus from this session today, what it is that you would like to get out of it. So I'm going to request Maria to launch the poll. And the Zoom poll is very simple. You will see a bunch of questions on your screen. Feel free to pick one. You can just go ahead and pick one of the options, whichever you, and you can choose more than one. So feel free to do that. So I can see some of the results coming in. Nice. Okay. So we have a moment to relax and to learn something new are the strongest options right now, but I'll let you answer. Okay. So has everybody answered? Okay. All right. So I'm glad that so many of us want to take a moment to relax. So we'll definitely make this actually we'll end the poll. Maria, can you show the results to everyone? There you go. Now you can share the results. Yes. So we can see that, we will definitely take time to relax for a moment. And we will have a portion of breath work and meditation where you'll have a moment, you'll have an opportunity to just rest and reset. There'll I hope there'll also be things that you will learn new today and take away with you as also one as a breathing technique that you will learn that you can practice on your own, but also a awareness about well-being and awareness about taking care of ourselves and those around us and meeting peers. So yeah, I hope that's happening. So we will also make space for that. So thank you for this. Okay. So the reason we are meeting today is that National Academy of Medicine has announced March 18th as a Health Workforce Wellbeing Day, which is great for all of us. I mean, it's great that there's more and more awareness about the well-being of those who spend their lives taking care of others. So this is an event to honor that this moment and to once again recognize that this is important. So let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome, those of you who are joining now. Maria, please feel free to share the slide deck. Okay, so we can go to the next and the next slide. Okay, so why is well-being essential for healthcare professionals? What do you think is the reason? Why is it important? And I would love to hear your comments. Feel free to use the chat function to respond to this question, or you can unmute and share. Why do you think well-being is important or having a wellness tool is important for healthcare professionals? It's kind of a very obvious question, right? But yes, would love to spend some time on this. So we can care for others? Yes, absolutely, right? We can only give what we have. So if we don't have energy, when we are getting tired, how do we take care of others? Absolutely. And I think your answer, Marley, speaks to the ethic that healthcare professionals have of putting others' care sometimes even before theirs, right? And we are stressed like, yes, absolutely, Deb. So true. Yes, so true. We rarely fill your own cup. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's so important. El Eileen said, because we are in stress, that's what we pass to others. Absolutely. There is something we all know about environmental pollution, but there's also an emotional pollution. Have you experienced that? You're having a perfectly good day, and someone who's stressed walks into walks into your space and creates stress inside of you. Have you experienced that? And have you experienced that we also do that to others? So absolutely, that's what we pass to others. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's an important thing to have well-being tools for ourselves, for our own mental and physical well-being health. Okay, so next slide. So you can click again, Maria, and then, oh wow, there's so many things that will come. So just keep clicking. Here are some of the reasons that are pretty obvious, but I'm just gonna, you can obviously preventing burnout, enhancing resilience, improving our contentment and satisfaction at work, team morale, boosting physical health, and fostering a supporting work culture and emotional well being are some of the reasons why it's important to have well being tools as healthcare providers. And yeah, modeling self care, that's a very good point. Yes, Madeline. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if any of these, maybe some of these speak to you more than others, but there are many reasons why it's important to have well being tools. Next slide. We can move to the next slide, maybe. Yeah. So, as we look at well being and professional fulfillment, which is connected to well being, there are two aspects to it. There's an organizational responsibility and there's a personal responsibility. And I think initiatives like this day today highlight the need for organizational responsibility. Absolutely, more and more organizations, if they aren't already, need to recognize that they need to make time available for their staff to engage in well-being activities, provide adequate resources, create a working culture that prioritizes well-being, that there's a voice for well-being in everything that they do in the organization. But there's also personal responsibility. So both of them need to go hand in hand to create professional fulfillment. Moving to the next slide. So here are some of the things that an organization can do. Like I already mentioned, providing enough resources. I've been reading about how AI is helping burnout now by helping with the note taking and the record keeping. So that's maybe another way to leverage technology to reduce burnout by putting less pressure on healthcare providers. And then obviously there's personal responsibility as well. The personal responsibility lies in the recognizing that something is going on in your life that's putting your life out of balance, that there is something you need to address, and then taking these steps to address that. It could be having a healthier lifestyle, setting clearer boundaries around work life balance. It could be practicing some stress management techniques. It could be seeking some professional support, maybe counseling, peer-to-peer support, and also continuing your education for both personal and professional growth. And most importantly, practicing self compassion. And the next slide. So, what do you consider most important in life? Now, I know it's an open ended question, but I would love to hear from you in the chat what it is that's important to you in your life. Family, yes. Yep. How many others feel family is very important? Yeah, of course. That's like a foundation for us, right? Our family. Yeah. What else? Sylvie also said family. Hmm. Eileen, that's very beautiful. Being able to charge your inner state quickly from low to high functioning. Amazing point. That's a very good, that's important. And breath work is amazing to do that. Great. Okay. And who else would like to share what's important to you? Even if you don't want to share, maybe just take a moment to recognize that. Whatever is important to you in your life. Work, yeah. Work is important. It gives us a sense of purpose. It can, friends. Yeah, I was gonna say friends. Yes. Anything else? How about your own health and your own well-being? That's also on the list, right? I hope somewhere. That's good. Because if you are not well, then how do you give quality time to your family, enjoying your own company? That's beautiful, Marilyn. So for us, having good health, having well-being is important because that's when we're able to be present with our family, we're able to contribute to our family, we can be with our friends, we can be our best at work. When our health is not good, when we are like either not well, physically, mentally, emotionally, then we really don't show up as our best self at work, at with friends or with family. So you yourself are very important in this. So put yourself on the list as well. So Bonnie said, time for quiet time daily to center and a grateful mindset. Yeah, that's very, gratitude is very important. I was reading about this study. This is an older study at Duke where they had people be write down three things every day that they were grateful for. And they did that over a period of a month, I want to say, or maybe longer. And they found changes in the brain structure through this. So just a simple act of intentional gratitude can create a lot of, it can be beneficial. So going back to what you consider important in life, next slide, Maria. So what's stopping you from maybe fulfilling that? If family is important, what is stopping you from being your best at family or at work or with your friends, or if you want to have more balance in life, what it is that's stopping you or what you would consider an obstacle? You can again respond in chat. Would love to hear from all of you. Or if you are already functioning at your optimal in all aspects of your life, then also share your secret. Hmm. Yeah, Marilyn, you described adulthood in one sentence, in a phrase. Too much on your plate and not enough time for everything. I think that's how adulthood can be described. Exhaustion, yes. Yeah, right. So yeah, Miriam said that. What else? And again, if you don't want to share, maybe just acknowledge to yourself what could be some of the things. Is stress one of them? Like, I think not having enough time and energy uh, is a common theme across the board for most people around the world. Okay, so the next slide. Yeah, stress. And what does that make us feel when we have too much to do and not enough time? That makes us stressed, isn't it? Stress, exhaustion comes from there. So going to the next slide. So there are two kinds of stress, as you already know. There is an acute stress and a chronic stress. So acute stress is when you're running late. That can be an acute stress when you're running late for a flight or you're running late to a meeting. That's a moment of acute stress. Or when you get this bothersome text on your phone, that's an example of acute stress. So as human beings, we were not designed to experience a lot of acute stress. Acute stress was supposed to come and then not be there all the time. But our current life actually is filled with moments of acute stress, right? When we go from meeting to meeting, email to email, text to text, there's so many moments of acute stress in a day. And then there's something like chronic stress, right? Chronic stress is where if someone, for example, has a very long commute every day, where they drive 90 minutes each way, that's an example of chronic stress. Or when you continue to have very busy days in a row where you don't get a break, you have a lot of workload, that's an example of chronic stress. Administrative burden or having an illness which is not getting better, that is an example of chronic stress. So what happens is when a lot of moments of acute stress combine, that also becomes chronic stress. When we are constantly operating in situations where uh, our adrenaline is always going up, cortisol is always going up. That leads to chronic stress. And then that leads to poor sleep, it leads to ill health, it leads to a lot of things, migraines, headaches. I mean, so many emotional consequences, mental health gets affected. So both we have both in our lives, hopefully, and we need to find ways to manage both of them. So moving to the next slide. So is burnout acute or chronic? So going to click again, please, Maria. You can keep clicking, let the slide show up. So burnout can start as acute, but if it doesn't get addressed in a short period of time, it becomes chronic. And then it's burnout stress, and then it's called, let me rephrase that. So work stress can start as acute, but it doesn't get addressed over time, it becomes chronic. And that's when it's called burnout. So moving to the next slide. So like somebody said, no, we don't fill our own cup enough. That's it. We have to first take care of our own self. Even in the flight, they say that put your mask first and then help others. So handling our own stress is very important, because when the stress is not handled, it leads to other things. A friend of mine always gives this example. So let's say you drive, everybody here, mostly everybody here has a car, right? You drive a car. And let's say your car hits a pole or somebody hits you, but it's not so bad. It just gets a dent, right? And you keep functioning. I mean, you keep driving the car. And then something else happens, the car gets another scrape, but you keep driving the car, right? But just because you keep driving the car doesn't mean that the dent goes away or the scrape goes away. You have to take it to a shop to get it fixed, right? It's the same thing with us for stress. If we are the car, we get one dent or one scrape, we get, stress impacts us. But because we have so much resilience, we keep going. And we don't get those dents and scrapes fixed. We don't take care of them. And ultimately, there comes a day when so much stress has come from so many places inside of us that we suddenly have headaches, or we suddenly have indigestion, or we suddenly can't sleep, or we're feeling burnout. So those things don't happen in a day, they happen over time. So taking action, preventative, taking action, taking care of yourself a part of your life is a smarter way to be, rather than waiting for things to pile up and then saying, oh, I need to do something about it now. So whether you consider yourself, wherever you are on the spectrum of stress and burnout, it's good that to start taking care of yourself from this moment. Spending a little time every day. Next slide. So what are some of the most effective self-care practices that you use to manage your well-being? I would love to hear from all of you. What are your go-to techniques, go-to ways to uplift your energy? Going outside, very nice. So being with nature, like you already are right now, Marilyn. Exercise, sky meditation and yoga, yes. What else? I keep a work journal of good things. Ah, nice. And then ask myself interesting questions and think into the mysteries of life. Very nice, Eileen. Helping people. Very nice, Shankar. Yeah, helping people is a very, very energizing thing to do. Mm. Anything else? Did I miss anything? Yes, time away from work. Yes, we absolutely need both. We need work and we need time away from work. Being with friends and family. Yes, that's very, very good. Mhm. Very nice. So good um a range of responses. Pretty much similar when I asked this question to different groups, I get similar responses. So that's good. We are all doing similar things, spending time in nature, being with friends and family, or indulging in some hobbies. Yeah. Go to the next slide, please. So good. If you're doing something like that, keep doing. Now, one thing we need to remember is we are not just our mind, neither are we just our body, right? Neither are we just our relationships. So, when we look at well being, we have to look at an integrated range of solutions that address different aspects of ourselves. So, if we only exercise, that can take care of the body to some aspect, mind, but it may not take care of your social well being, right? Or if we just go outside alone activities, then that may or may not take care of other aspects of your well-being too. So when we look at well-being solutions, think about it in your own life. Am I addressing every aspect of myself that needs to be taken care of, right? So doing something that integrates well-being is important, it makes it complete. Go to the next slide. Yeah. And that's why breath is one of our unique solutions. Actually, yeah, because it addresses many aspects of our well-being, emotional, physical, mental, right? Also social, because breath work has shown, sky breath work has shown to have an impact on social connectivity as well. Our mindset, so many things. So breath work is very unique in that. You know what is the other thing that makes breath work unique? So let's say you shared many of these things you do, right, to improve your well-being. Let's say you're in a stressful situation, you're having a difficult discussion with someone, or you're running late to a meeting, right? What can you do in that moment to take care of your well being? You can't say, hold on, I'm going to go outside and then I'm going to feel better and come back. Or wait, I'm going to go meet my family and come back, right? Or wait, I'm going to run around the block and then come back. You can't do that, right? In a pinch. In that moment, what you have in a pinch to take care of yourself is your breath. It's always with us. And we can access it anytime. There is really no need for any apps or props or reminders. It's always there. So in that moment, you can access your breath. That's why breath is a unique way to manage our mind and our well-being. Now, there's also a connection between breath and the state of mind. So, how do we breathe when we are happy? Have you noticed your breath when you're happy or someone else's? Isn't it light? And yeah. And how do we breathe when we are sad? Any any insights? If anyone goes like this, do you ask them, oh, so what's exciting? You say, no, what's wrong? And it's true across the world. It's not just true here or, in India or in America or in Colombia. It's true across the world. Somebody goes like, you're like, so what happened? What's the problem? Right? So breath and the emotional connection between breath and emotional state is so universal. And that's the third reason why breath is so unique, because breath is universal. Everybody breathes in the same way across the world. So science has also shown that there's a connection between breath and emotions. When we breathe in certain ways, it can change our emotional state. And also our emotional state can change our breath. And it's sometimes easier to observe in others when they are going through an emotion that their breath changes, but also notice in yourself. So this connection between breath and emotions has been known for a very, very long time, for thousands of years actually. And science is now also talking about it. And this connection is the foundation why breath work works. Because breath and emotions are connected. So when we learn how to manage our breath, we can also have a say on the state of our mind. Next slide. So one of the breath work I'm going to talk about is sky. Some of you have already done Sky. How many of you have already done Sky? If you can just either Katharina, Marilyn, for those whose camera is off, you can use one of the reactions and let me know. Donna has. Good. Ale has. Wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So some of you have. Shankar has done it. I think some of you others have also done it. Deb has done it. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Very nice to see that many of you have done Sky. Bonnie has done it. Very good. Okay. So because you've done Sky, you already know about Sky. So I'm just going to briefly touch base on this research study that was published last year. This was a randomized control trial where they had the Sky group in one arm and the other group received stress management education, which was a series of, webinars and didactic lectures. And they looked at, Seema has also done Sky, very nice. They looked at professional fulfillment and mental health outcomes, burnout, sleep quality, and they looked at medical errors. And they followed the participants over the course of 8 weeks. And they found that Sky had the Sky group compared to the control group had a greater increase in well-being. They had lower rates of burnout. Their sleep was better, and they had less stress, depression, anxiety. And yeah, so go to the next slide. And there was increased professional fulfillment as well. And they found that the group that had a higher adherence to Sky more than 3 times a week also showed a reduction in medical errors compared to the control group. So because Sky is something that anyone can learn and it can be scaled easily, it can be taught online, it's a very good solution for well-being. There has been other studies which are not mentioned here, which talk about the dose dependent effect of Sky. So here also, actually, if you look at high adherence, low adherence, it sort of relates to that when you do more Sky, you have more benefits. So there was a study that looked at happiness quotient of people who do Sky. And they found that people who did more Sky more often, like, monthly versus weekly versus daily, they had higher happiness quotients. So here also, if you see those who were doing Sky for more times a week had better outcomes. So that's an encouragement for you to do your Sky practice more often if you don't do it, if you already don't do it every day. Okay, next slide. There's a lot of other science benefit of Sky as well, improvement in sleep, well-being, depression, and stress. Go to the next study. Next slide. And this is a study we did in Yale, which looked at MBSR, emotional intelligence, and Sky. And they looked at 6 outcomes, and Sky group did better than the other groups in all the outcomes. Better than MBSR, emotional intelligence, and a control group. This was at Yale. And the next slide. So all of you have done Sky program already. So how about we move into the, let's go to the next slide. So let's talk to you a little bit about, we'll go to the experience after this. So you've done already Sky programs. So coming up in the end of March is Doctors' Day. And we're hosting special Sky programs just to honor all the doctors. So if you would like to join us again, please do so. Or if you have a friend who could benefit, please invite them as well. These programs are for all the clinicians and all the healthcare professionals, although it's for Doctors' Day, but everybody is welcome. You'll get CME credits as well. And then if those dates don't work for you, you can still come back and do another Sky program at a later date and also invite your friends and colleagues as well. That's the next slide. And lastly, I want to talk very briefly about this program called Breathers. Some of you are familiar with it. How many of you here are familiar with the Breathers program? Some of you are, right? So Breathers, because we understand healthcare professionals are very busy. Nobody has time and there is a need. So we designed Breathers as very short 15-minute recharge breaks. They happen twice a day, every weekday, 12:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. These are free. So you can just drop in, do the practice, get a midday break, and then continue with your day. And these are open to all healthcare professionals. So feel free to join us as many times you can in a week. every day if you like, and also invite your colleagues, because this is, and if you see someone who's struggling, they could use some little help, please invite them so that they can get that resource and support for themselves. And it's free. Okay. So now how about we do some breath work and meditation? Sounds good? Okay. So we're gonna practice straw breath today. Straw breath is easy to do. I'm gonna show it to you first and then we'll do it together. So it looks like this. So we breathe in through the nose, natural breath in through the nose, and we breathe out through the mouth as if you are exhaling through a small opening. Imagine if you were holding like a coffee stirrer between your lips and you are just blowing your air out through the coffee stirrer. So let's do this one time together. Breathe in and breathe out. So you will see that I'm going to spotlight myself. There has been a request. So you will see that when you breathe out through that small opening between your lips, the out breath becomes slower, and it's also working against a little bit more resistance. So straw breath is very calming. So anytime you feel you need to calm down, you know, maybe your heart is beating fast, or you're having a lot of thoughts, or you're feeling very hot, or breath is, or you've been working too much, you feel too worked up. This is a great way to cool yourself down. And you can do this about 10 times, 5 to 10 times when you're doing it. And you can do it with eyes open, but today we'll do it with eyes closed so we can have a more deeper experience, and then I'll guide us in meditation. So let's go ahead and sit comfortably. You can rest your back so that you're comfortable. And but keep your shoulders relaxed, spine erect, so you have enough, so your lungs are open and you can breathe easily. We'll start breathing in straw breath. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth, through a small opening. Once again, breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. And you can keep doing this at your own pace now. Take your time to breathe in and breathe out. As you become more comfortable, let your breath start to slow down. Continue for 2 more breaths. And relax. Return to natural, normal breath through the nose, in and out. You can close the mouth. We'll meditate for a few minutes. Sit easily and comfortably, back rested and body relaxed. Relax the shoulders and the arms. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, place your weight on the chair you are sitting on. The chair is, anyways, carrying your weight. Just place your weight on it. Relax your hips and thighs. Breathe in again and breathe out. Become aware of any sounds you may hear around you. There may be sounds of appliances or the fan, or maybe people or birds, traffic. Whatever the sounds may be, let them be. Be in harmony with your surroundings. Breathe in, breathe out. Take your attention to your body. Our body is a gift to us from nature. Through our body, we express our mind, our desires, our ideas. We function in the world because of the body. So let's take a moment to acknowledge the body. Become aware of your feet, legs, and knees. Thighs and hips. Abdomen, lower back, chest, and upper back. Right arm, right hand. Left arm, left hand. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out. Relax them a little more. Relax the neck, your jaw, head, the face. Relax the forehead, the eyebrows, cheeks. Breathe in, Breathe out, relax the whole body. Become aware of your thoughts. There may be thoughts of the past or the future. Whatever they may be, let them be. Thoughts are like clouds passing in the sky. Let them come, let them go. Be in harmony with your thoughts. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the peace within you and around you. You are peace. Breathe in, breathe out. Become aware of your thoughts if you have any. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Start to become aware of your body and the room you are in. Breathe in again. Breathe out. And slowly and gradually becoming more aware, you may gently, taking your time, open your eyes. How is everyone? How was it? Good. If you had to describe your state of being in one or two words, what would you say? You can type in the chat or share. Very relaxed. Yes, Shankar says. Miriam says light, calm, refreshed, relaxed. Light. Light is good. Calm. Very nice. And it was just maybe less than 20 minutes. I mean, the whole thing, including straw breath, and the meditation was about 11 minutes. So it doesn't take that long, right? It's just a matter of fitting it in your day. So we started with two main goals. One was to find a moment to relax. I hope that has happened. And the second thing was to learn something new. So now I would like to, if you would love for everybody to share in the chat, what is something that you're taking away? It could be something new, or it could be something that you already know and it got reinforced. If you want to unmute and share, you're welcome to. Love to hear your takeaways in the chat. Straw breath first time. Yes. So that's something new. Yes. So straw breath you can do once a day or twice a day, 5 to 10 breaths each time. You can do it at any time of the day, at bedtime, during the day, while you're working. It might be uncomfortable to do on full stomach, but if it's not, you can even do it then. Yeah. So do the straw breath. It's really calming. Like we grab snacks through the day, we can think about breath snacks several times a day. What say, Shankar? I think it's a great idea. Who's in for breath snacks? Straw breath can be a breath snack. Very nice. They've been talking about exercise snacks. I think we should start breath snacks. Love it. Who has time for snacks, lol? Who doesn't have time for snacks? Yeah, Deb. Okay. What else? What else are you taking away? Who else would like to share? Okay. Well, I'm gonna hang back. Uh, I would have loved to put everyone in breakout rooms, but because most of your cameras are not on, I'm not sure what you're doing and if that's a conducive thing for our group. But again, happy to hear your takeaways. So please share them in the chat. Otherwise, thank you for joining. I'm glad we could come together on this, and do some things for ourselves, meditate together, and come join us. Again, we do daily practice every day. For those of us who have done Sky, It's free on Zoom, so you can join us. And there's a quick feedback survey. If you can just give us any feedback you have about the session, we would love to get your input as well. So, again, from your friends at Healing Breaths, it was great to see you. We would love to see you again and stay in touch.
Thanks, everybody. It was lovely.
Thank you, Shankar. Bye, Seema. Okay, of course. We're happy you come and join us. All right. So great. We can stop the recording.